OnlyFans has completely ruined an entire generation. Dog, when I tell you, nuclear bombs couldn't even do nearly as much damage as what OnlyFans did to our society. Where I knew OnlyFans was getting bad, when I seen people not even giving life a shot at the age of 18 and going straight to OnlyFans once the clock hit 12. If you thought that Reddit, TikTok, 4chan, and Twitter did damage, just wait till you hear all the damage that OnlyFans has done in this video. Now, for the first damage that I think OnlyFans has done to society is that it's normalized a lot of weird behavior. We live in a time where people get their back blown out in front of a camera for thousands of people to see, but it's somehow okay because they make a lot of money. That is not...
It's normalized supporting prostitution. That's what it's normalized. It's normalized to sell your body for money, and that such a thing is not looked down upon or should not be looked down upon, or it's freedom, or it's whatever the fuck you're talking about, right? Prostitution is literally one of the oldest, as they say, right? One of the oldest professions in the entire world. People have been selling pussy since pussies existed. However, it has never been celebrated. You've never been cherished, or you've never been a good prospect for marriage after you've been a prostitute for however long. In fact, if you were ever to be a prostitute, likely you're never going to find a husband. And that's how it was for thousands of years. Now, all of a sudden, you engage in prostitution where not only... See, before, if you was a prostitute in Istanbul and then move your ass to fucking England, no one knew. You could just reinvent your entire life. But now, you niggas is prostituting all over the internet. So anyone who ever meets you can find it out. And you think that you're of the same value as someone, relationship-wise, as someone who's never done that? Like, come on, that doesn't even make logical sense. And you wouldn't even want that either for a partner either, so stop playing.
Not normal, and that is not something that we should normalize/celebrate. Look, I understand that these OnlyFans girls be having Lambos, numerous penthouses, a few rollies, and more money than I could ever imagine, but at the same time, they also have zero dignity if they can proudly brag about how their cheeks are getting clapped online for $4.99 a month. Why are we flexing our cheeks getting obliterated online? I just don't think that is just weird to me. Another thing about OnlyFans is that it completely normalized adult films, aka porn. Like, I swear, back then, being an adult film star used to be one of the most frowned upon jobs ever. But OnlyFans has made it completely acceptable. Like, if somebody told you that they did OnlyFans, you genuinely wouldn't be surprised nowadays. Nope. But back then, that would have been one of the most shocking things to ever hear.
Right. Some people want to say that, oh, well, you know, now people still aren't accepting of adult film actresses and etc., which is true, generally speaking. However, there is a push to accept such people into normal everyday life in society, which I just don't think is rational.
Another weird behavior that OnlyFans has kind of normalized. Y'all remember when Danielle Bergoli started an OnlyFans 1 week after she turned 18, and she made $1 million within just 6 hours of it releasing? That means that there were some grown adults out there that found Danielle Bergoli attractive as a young girl, but they wouldn't necessarily say that. So they chose their next best option, which was to wait for this young girl to turn 18. Now they could see her naked legally. Like, the concept of that being legal is just absolutely strange to me. And whoever bought that OnlyFans once she turned 18 needs to be locked up ASAP, no Rocky. Like, I just find that
we need to check your computer because there's some shit on there.
The demographic of these people buying Danielle Bergoli's OnlyFans were like maybe 18, 19, 20, 21. They had to be like 40-year-olds, maybe even some 30-year-olds in there. And we know damn well that a lot of these dudes that bought this OnlyFans didn't just randomly stumble across Danielle Bergoli the day that she turned 18. These dudes most definitely found her attractive as a young girl.
17,
and they just spawn camped their way until she made
spawn camping is crazy.
Naked legally and go ham on the meat. Like, that's crazy. Absolutely insane. There's also numerous TikTok girls out there who have also made OnlyFans once they turned 18. And they make bans because of these weirdos also. Like, it's one of the weirdest things ever. And this shouldn't be something that's, like, normal, you know? And as I speak...
One girl came on the internet and said, I had no choice but to start an OnlyFans to get out of the situation I was in. You had no choice but to be a prostitute? Let me tell you something. This isn't fucking 850 AD Scandinavia. You are not Vikings. You have a choice. No, I had no choice. I had no skills and my husband died. I had to become a prostitute. The fuck you think this is? Pride and Prejudice, motherfucker? It's 2024. You can vote. You can own property. You can do all type of shit. You don't have to sell your body for money if you're in a bad place. That's not real. That's like,
Yeah.
go ahead.
You chose an easy and
That
sleazy way
That
out.
part.
Because it's easy for you because all you have to do is lay there and take it. And it's sleazy because you're using sex to actually try to obtain value when you're devaluing yourself. So
And then you pretend that you had no choice when in reality you had every single choice, and all of these choices were made by you. See, that's the problem. Some of these women infantilize themselves and say, well, my choices, I make my choices, and then later on when the choices don't turn out to have been that smart, you then say, no, I had no choice, I was forced, this, that, and the other. But nah, you're a grown fucking adult, and whatever decisions you make, you will face the consequences for them, period.
Right.
There's probably some 16-year-old TikTok girl out there that plans to make an OnlyFans once she turns 18, and there's probably tons of creepy old men waiting for that day to happen, which it's disgusting to even think about, if I'm being real. I think the age of OnlyFans should be at least 21, but obviously that never changed because right now the age to sell adult content is 18 years old, and for OnlyFans to change their age, the whole law would have to change as a whole, and that's never going to change. And since we're talking about weird behavior from OnlyFans, there's a lot of lies that goes on with just the business itself. Like, there's a lot of grown women on there lying about being 18 and 19 years old to sell more subscriptions, which is just absolutely insane. Even though those are legal ages, I still think it's weird to lie about your age to sell more subs. For example, do y'all remember that one NPC TikTok girl, Pinky Doll?
Ice cream so good. Ice cream so good. Gang gang.
So she actually used to lie and say that she was 19 years old to sell more subs, when in reality, she was 27. And this actually happens a ton on Twitter. You'll see mad girls talking about they're the hottest 18-year-old on OnlyFans. Whole time, they're 47 with 6 kids. It's insane. A girl could legit be 67 years old with the saggiest yitties of all time. But for some reason, she's in every Twitter comment section talking about, I'm the hottest 18-year-old on OnlyFans. Yeah, you were the hottest girl. 51 years ago, Sharon.
Oh my God,
like I said, I think
Sharon.
it's weird to just straight up lie about your age to sell more subs. Like, that's just disgusting. And even the old ass men out there that are buying these girls OnlyFans, they're also
look at that
just
homunculus.
as disgusting, if not even more disgusting. Now, another reason why I think that OnlyFans completely ruined society is because it made the internet even worse for women. Now, y'all are gonna call me a simp and white knight for this, but just hear me out before you run to the comment section talking about my forehead is big. Just wait 1 second. Just hear me out. The reason why I say that OnlyFans made the internet even worse for women is because it made dudes comfortable with telling random girls online that they don't even know to make OnlyFans accounts if they find them attractive. It's the weirdest thing ever. Like, if a girl goes viral and she just happens to be attractive, the first thing that dudes are gonna say is to make an OnlyFans. It's the weirdest thing ever. For example, do you remember the Home Depot girl?
It's not only dudes that'll say
girl
that.
who went viral on Twitter
he's been
because
saying
she was
it's about
attractive
the girls
and she
in the
worked at
beginning.
Home Depot. And the first thing that dudes were telling her to do once they saw her was to make an OnlyFans. Like, peep some of these comments. Hear me out. OnlyFans and you equals rich. If you want to make an OnlyFans,
But is that a weird comment, or is that a factual statement? Because it is true that if you are viral and you're good looking, you make an OnlyFans, you will be rich regardless of what you actually show on there. Because people will come on there to find out if you're showing anything. So at least for the first beginning part, you'll pick up hella bread. That's a factual statement. So is that more of them saying they want her to make one, or saying that in fact if you do make one, this is what will happen? Probably both.
you niggas wouldn't judge you. When OF, you're telling me that you see an attractive woman online and your first thought is she should make an OnlyFans? Like, I just find that insane. And honestly, I salute this woman to the fullest because at the end of the day, she chose her morals over money. She could have made life-changing bands
She's
off
like,
of OnlyFans, but she just chose to stick with her normal job and just create IG Reels and make YouTube videos. When the whole world was telling her to create an OnlyFans. Like, that is hard to do in a world where OnlyFans girls be having Lambos and just regular working women have Toyota Priuses. Like, that is a hard task. And this actually happens to a lot of women that create content. Because if you look at their comment section on like IG Reels or maybe TikTok, or maybe even like if a girl is doing a YouTube Q&A, the first question that a lot of dudes are gonna ask is if that girl is gonna make it OnlyFans. Like, bro, it's crazy because if you do have an OnlyFans nowadays, people are gonna tell you to find God. But if you don't have one, people are gonna beg you to make one.
That's true.
Situation Another reason why I
It's
think
weird.
OnlyFans made the internet even worse for women is because it also completely ruined Linktree / just women having links in their bio.
Oh, yeah, you
like,
can.
you know how on
Yeah.
Instagram, people usually will have like a link in their bio, and that link will take you to maybe like a YouTube, Twitch, or maybe even like a clothing brand. Well, it's gotten to the point where if a woman has a link tree in her bio,
You know
the
it's-
first
you
assumption
know it's
that a lot of
OnlyFans.
dudes are gonna make, even myself, is that that girl probably has an OnlyFans.
And to be honest, it's not necessarily a wrong assumption. Like at this point, by the numbers, if you were to take just a random sampling of all the women on the internet between a certain age group that got a link in their bio, and then just click on them, your percentage chance of finding one that's got an OnlyFans in it is probably extremely high. So he's not necessarily wrong about that. It's like it did ruin it, but it actually is. They're actually doing it. In fact, I can't remember I can't remember a moment in the last 4 years where I saw a link tree that didn't have an OnlyFans in it.
When in reality, that girl could just have like a Twitch link in that link tree,
could.
right? But since these OF girls are running so rampant nowadays, and you can see them everywhere,
Lemmings.
every dude is going to automatically assume that any girl with a link in her bio has an OnlyFans. Like, it's sad to say, but it's true. Another
Lemmings.
reason why I think OnlyFans ruined society is because it gave people this money over morals mindset. If there's one thing that OnlyFans has taught...
That's not true. OnlyFans didn't teach us that. That has always existed in society. Money over morals, especially in the last 40 years. Money over morals for sure. OnlyFans is just a very successful and most recent option in order to exercise the money over morals paradigm.
I agree with you. It's just now, like you just said, incorporated into the OnlyFans because it once wasn't
Plus
part
internet.
of only right.
So it makes it everywhere.
So that's the problem. Like I 100% agree with you. Like prostitution has always been a thing. It's going to always be a thing. It's just how it's distributed.
It's just so easy to do it now.
Right.
That's the problem, and so widespread.
Right.
That's the issue. Is that I personally I don't think prostitution should even be illegal. So how it is in Nevada should be everywhere. If you are an adult and you feel like you want to go do that shit, you're not hurting anybody. So go ahead and do it. You're providing a service to someone somewhere. Someone has to make them. Someone has to make the Pornhub videos. Like the conservatives want to say, we gotta get rid of it out of society. Nah, this isn't fucking the 1600s where you don't go to church, you miss 2 Sunday churches and they stone you. That's not what we're doing, bro. So keep your religion to yourself. Like if you feel like that's immoral or whatever, then don't do that.
Honestly, they're hypocrites too because look at what Trump just did. He brought Amber Rose to speak for him. Like you can't sit here and be. Aren't you
the Christian party? I don't get it. With the party of morals and family values, Amber Rose is the farthest from family values. I'll tell you what. And she's a fucking atheist, so she doesn't even believe in Jesus. This is like you guys are a little slow, but anyway.
It's that people are almost always going to pick that dollar over their morals on any given day. The other day, I seen this post by Ruby Rose that said, "Yo bitch got morals, I got millions." Well, excuse me, Miss Ruby. I never knew that having no morals was a flex. But at the same time, I don't know what I was supposed to expect from somebody that said, sometimes you have to lie about your age when it comes to NFL players. At 16 years old, she had no morals 10 years ago, and she still has no morals today. It's insane. Don't get me wrong. Money is a really important thing in life, because without money, you can't do a majority of things. But that money shouldn't matter if you don't have any morals, / if it goes against your morals. Like, not all money is good money. Yeah, that money from OnlyFans might be good, but at the same time, it comes with a greater cost, which...
Now money is good money. You think them slave owners gave a fuck where that money came from? No, all money is not good money, but no one ever really cares where the money comes from if there's enough of it. That's a common social issue in America. That has almost nothing to do with OnlyFans. Like I said, OnlyFans is a symptom of that.
Which is your dignity and future. Like, I swear, people don't even care about their digital footprints anymore. Because, bro, OnlyFans literally leaves a permanent stain on your life. It leaves a mark on your future family, and I'm telling you, once your kids find out that you did OnlyFans back in your heyday, that's going to be a pretty odd topic to even talk about. Y'all remember when that one blonde OnlyFans girl, Elle Brooke, was on Piers Morgan, and she was basically saying how her kids are going to cry in a Ferrari once they figure out that she did OnlyFans?
How would you feel when you want to have kids yourself?
Well, I mean, I don't really want kids right now. But
you will do. How old are you?
25.
Right, so you will do at some stage, probably, right?
Maybe.
When you do, you're going to be proud that you have your little ones and they look at you and go, didn't you want to be a lawyer, Mummy? What happened?
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, but look at all my stuff.
They can cry in a Ferrari.
Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, that Ferrari is cool and all.
Peter's
It's
like,
pretty
what?
fast, and I mean, it does look nice. But once your kid gets out that Ferrari and walks through those
And gets
school
fucking
doors,
bullied.
it's over for that man. It takes one kid in that school to find out you did OnlyFans. Now your son is getting his head dunked into a toilet on a Wednesday morning before PE class. You're
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Maybe these people forgot what bullying was like. Maybe they grew up in. Maybe some of these Gen Z kids grew up in an era where they let people bully people. Because when I was in high school, there's no way that we could find out that your mom was on OnlyFans. That's not real. There's no way. That would be the end of the world for whoever that was. Like, the jokes would just fly everywhere you were. You couldn't tell a teacher enough times. I don't know, man. Y'all risking it all for you. Y'all really not looking out for the health and well-being of your future children. You're not. You better not have none. Just don't. Spare everyone.
It's okay that you get clapped online, pile drive, put in a DDT, and put in the walls of Jericho, all on camera for the world to see. But it's somehow fine because you have a Ferrari? That is absolutely insane. If you thought that bullying was bad now, just wait until 20 years from now. These roast sessions are about to get brutal. That's why you're ugly and your breath stinks. That's why your mom did OnlyFans.
Yeah, damn.
If your mom did OnlyFans, you might as well go mute because that's the safest option. Like, these OnlyFans pictures are never gonna leave the internet. I don't think people realize that. And also, just because you retire from OnlyFans, that doesn't mean that the pictures and videos retire as well. For example, do y'all remember the ex-adult film star, Mia Khalifa? The other day, she was actually on Twitter talking about how the singer Tyla should stay away from these little streamers because Kai Cenat and Tyla recently did a stream with each other. And when I tell you, all hell broke loose in the comment section because people just started dropping pictures of her getting clapped from like 8 years ago, dog. And that's what I mean by
What?
these pictures
Mia
never
Khalifa.
really
Oh,
leave the internet.
oh.
It doesn't matter when you retire, these pictures are always going to be there, dog. That scene probably happened ages ago. But since it's online, that picture is now forever. And what's even sadder is that when these OnlyFans girls do try to be serious and turn their lives around, no one ever takes them seriously. Like, if an OnlyFans girl tried to transition into different content, like maybe YouTube or like Twitch streaming, it wouldn't work because a lot of people are only going to see them as that girl that was getting clapped on camera. I mean, it has worked in some instances, but a majority of the time, it's not going to work at all. For example, there's this one OnlyFans girl named Nala who basically stopped doing OnlyFans to pursue religion. And when I tell you, nobody took her seriously. Did she get baptized in semen? Best meme of all time. This is delusion at its finest. Your entire internet presence is you not choosing God.
Oh,
and
my
honestly,
God.
like, even though it's messed up, these
Wait, but what about Mary Magdalene? She changed it around. Why does she
I
can't?
can
What?
understand why. Because number
Yeah,
one,
right?
it
It's too-
happened
it's too
all of a
much.
sudden. And number two, she used to get clapped online, and that was her previous internet presence. Like, she went from worshiping the BBC to worshiping the Bible. Like, that's a pretty drastic move. So it makes sense to why people don't really take her serious. But that
Oh,
just
Lord.
goes to show how much of a stain OnlyFans puts on your life.
Nah, that's really crazy. No way she got baptized and niggas said, nah, that shit don't count. You too dirty. We gotta baptize you more than once. We can't just baptize you in regular water, in regular river water like they used to do. Nah, you kidding me? They baptized Vikings in river water. But you so dirty, we gotta get holy water to baptize you. We gotta make sure this water pristine. It's disgusting, bro. Listen, I don't know if I necessarily agree with the premise that OnlyFans destroyed a generation, but the thought process that popularized OnlyFans among women who, as he said, didn't even give life a chance yet. That thought process is what's destroying the generation.
Also, a generation that never grew up outside.
Right.
A generation
To see
that
consequences.
has constantly been hidden and sheltered through the internet and social media. They don't know how to interact with one another in real time, real life, real person. So I think it does have a warped thought process and mental effect on people mentally in a different generation that grew up differently than our generation. We were outside. We actually got to understand humiliation. They don't understand humiliation.
Sure they do, because
I don't think they do.
it follows them on the internet. They definitely do. But what they don't understand is the real life correlation between what happens on the internet and what happens in real life. It's
Long
like
term, yes.
right, it's like The internet is real, but it's not real. And real life is real. And it has an impact on the real life. And how people see things on the internet really isn't how they see them in real life.
Right.
So, like, a lot of the bullshit arguments that people make on the internet in real life, that shit just falls apart. So, like, you can say all you want about how I'm liberated, I'm this and that, but at the end of the day, when that new dude who you meet after you retire from OnlyFans and got baptized, he's a church man. You trying to date him, he said, well, you were a what before? No. And even if you want to say, yeah, you were that, but you were that in fucking Saudi Arabia, and then you came over here, all right, well, there's no videos of that. So we can baptize you again, because like I said, there's multiple baptisms you're going to need. Under the water again, right? You come back up, all right, and go to church. And all right, we try to forget about it. Really, you got to forget about it. The problem is that the internet will never let you forget about it. And the problem is that moving on from your past, if it's bad, requires forgetting about it at least a little. And if it's constantly re-brought up back to you, you'll never forget about it.
See, that's coming from the female side. Them not understanding humility at its full extent. But there are downsides to all these women going on to OnlyFans and doing this for men in regards of, yes, they can find anywhere they want. Cats running around anywhere they want. You can find it anywhere. But in long term, you're not going to find an actual good woman to actually settle down if you decide to do that at any time and point in life, because it's so rampant. There's so many OnlyFans girls that there's no one girl you can actually entrust in putting your wealth and everything and your future into with these women. So it is cons on both sides, honestly, but there are pros. Like, I'm not saying, like I said, there is a reason for prostitution. It's going to be there. But there also are downsides when there's this much of a magnitude of women who are going into this field. You lose out for men, prospects for men, for finding the right woman.
This generation is finished. Finished.